My boss fired me after I helped a customer he was trying to scam, then had to hire me back with a raise when he realized I was the only one who knew the system password. I was terminated on the spot for warning an elderly customer that our exclusive discount was actually charging her double the regular price per, and then my manager frantically called me 3 days later, offering a 30% raise when he couldn't access any of the company software. I worked at a small electronics repair shop for nearly 2 years. The owner, Derek, initially seemed like a decent boss, but over time I noticed some questionable business practices paired especially with elderly customers who weren't tech savvy. He'd tell them they were getting an exclusive 30% discount, but in reality he would first mark up the price by 150 to 200% before applying the discount. These customers would end up paying significantly more than our regular rates while believing they were getting a special deal. I confronted Derek about this once, and he brushed it off, saying, "It's just business, they're happy thinking they got a deal. We make extra profit, everyone wins." I wasn't comfortable with it, but I needed the job and mostly worked on actual repairs in the back room, not directly with customers. Last Tuesday, an elderly woman came in with a laptop that just needed a simple AM upgrade parent, a $60 part, and a 15-minute job that we normally charge $85 total for. I overheard Derek telling her it would cost $250, but with his special senior discount, he could do it for only $175. The woman reminded me of my grandmother who had been scammed by a repair shop a few years ago. I couldn't stay silent when Derek stepped away to take a phone call. I quietly told her that the regular price for this service was actually $85, and she should be wary of the discount. She thanked me, and when Derek returned, she questioned the price. His face turned red as he looked at me, and I could tell he knew exactly what had happened. He awkwardly adjusted the price to $85, and the woman left satisfied. The moment she walked out the door, Derek exploded. "You are fired. Clear out your desk right now." He accused me of undermining his authority and sabotaging his business model. I wasn't surprised, but I also wasn't going to argue. I collected my things and left. What Derek didn't realize was that I was the only person who knew the master password to our point of sale system, repair tracking software, and customer database. When I first started, the previous manager had set up all these systems, and when he left, he only shared the password with me, telling me not to give it to Derek because he'll just mess everything up. I'd been logging in every morning and keeping the systems running smoothly. Derek never bothered learning how anything worked as long as it was functioning. 3 days after firing me, I received a panicked call from Derek. Apparently, all the systems had automatically logged out during the overnight backup, and he couldn't get back and no access to the appointment calendar. Customer information payment processing per nothing. "What's the password?" he demanded, not even bothering with a greeting. "I'm sorry, what password?" I replied calmly. "Don't play dumb. The system password. I need it now, parent. I have customers waiting." I reminded him that he had fired me for undermining his business and that my password knowledge was no longer his concern. After a few minutes of desperate pleading, Derek's tone completely changed. He offered me my job back, then added the 10% raise when I didn't immediately accept. When I still didn't respond, he went up to 20% and finally 30%. "I'll come back under 3 conditions," I finally said. "First, the 30% raise. Second, you stop overcharging elderly customers. Part everyone gets the same fair pricing. Third, I want it in writing that I am authorized to quote actual prices to customers." There was a long pause before he reluctantly agreed to everything. I returned that afternoon, logged into the systems, and found Derek had already drafted an employment agreement with all my conditions in writing. He must have been truly desperate. The most satisfying part came 2 days later when the elderly woman returned to pick up her laptop. Derek started to tell her about a special maintenance package he could add for a discounted price, but I immediately quoted the standard rate. As she was leaving, she winked at me and said, "It's nice to see honest young people in business these days." I've been documenting all of Derek's questionable practices and am considering reporting him to consumer protection agencies. But for now, I am enjoying my raise and the knowledge that at least some customers are getting fair treatment because I stood my ground.